Thank you, Deputy Presiding Officer. Will the First Minister make a statement on support for claimants of the Welsh Independent Living Grant following its cessation?
Well, we are providing full funding of £27 million to local authorities to enable them to meet the care and support needs of those who currently receive payments from the Independent Living Grant.
People with disabilities who are in receipt of this grant tell me that their greatest concern is losing that element of independence that the grant provides them on a personal level. They appreciate the independence more than anything else. So what assurance can you give that they will continue to enjoy the same independence when that grant is brought to an end by the government?
Well, we've been monitoring what the local authorities have been doing, and that monitoring will continue in the current situation in the transition period. And from the beginning of that period in April of last year to the end of that period, we will be monitoring the actions of local government, and we know that individuals assessed during that same period will also be monitored. And I know that the Minister does know that we need to monitor the experience of individuals as regards to the process at present, and the Minister is considering the way forward in order to ensure that there is assurance for those who receive the grant.
Well, thanks for that partial clarification. The Independent Living Fund's pre-devolution was about giving individuals choice and control over how they spent their money, their fund, to live independently. Initially, the Welsh Independent Living Grant worked that way, but unlike Scotland and Northern Ireland that have developed their models in partnership with the third sector, you're requiring local authorities to meet with people receiving the grant to agree the support they need to do this, which the Welsh Independent Living Grant Save the Welsh Living Independent Grant campaign says, independent living is a rights issue, and closing the Welsh Independent Living Grant is a betrayal of disabled people, our families, friends, our staff and our community, because it takes their voice, choice, control and independence away from them. I know that the leader of the campaign met Hugh Ranker-Davies in January, and the leader of that campaign subsequently said this was probably the most important meeting of his life. That's how important this is. Will you, at this final point, please listen to this community and recognise that independence means giving them choice and control and not having to agree how they should spend their money with well-meaning experts in County Hall when they are the real experts in their own lives?
Well, can I mean, in terms of how we got to where we are, there was an advisory group, as the member will know. It recommended providing future support through local authority social services. Now, the principle behind that was to ensure that all disabled people in Wales were supported to live in the same way, and to ensure that the finite funding, let's remember that transferred from the UK government, is used directly for that purpose and not on the operating costs of separate arrangements for only some disabled people. We've made sure in Wales that every penny of that money has gone to recipients. That has not been the case elsewhere in the UK.